guys, welcome to another playthrough of Spirit Island. Today we're going to be playing as Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares, and we're going up against Brandenburg Prussia level 4. I've gone ahead and set up everything as usual, so I think with that we can take our first turn. And for this one I think I'm going to choose growth option number 3. So we will place a presence on gain 1 power card. We will take the minor first. And our choices are Pact of the Joint Hunt, Poison Dew, Call to Bloodshed, and Absorb Corruption. None of those are particularly appealing in terms of the elements, so I think I'll probably go with Call to Bloodshed here. It might give us the ability to move around some Dahan and potentially generate some more fear, so I think that's probably the best of a not particularly good bunch. And then for our presence placement, I think I will take off the top track and I'll place it into land number 1. So they have explored initially into the jungles. So hopefully, we can try and protect at least one of those lands. For our card plays, we will first take 2 energy from the energy truck. And I think I'm going to play Predatory Nightmares and probably Dreams of the Dahan. So that'll cost 2 energy in total. And yeah, that's our card plays. We can go on to the fast power phase. So we have 2 moon, 2 air, and 1 animal tag. We have the first level of Spirits May Yet Dream, turn any face down fear card face up. So we can turn the first one, I guess, is probably the most useful, and it's during the next normal build, skip the lowest numbered land matching the invader card on each board. Okay. And then we also have Night Terrors. So the 2 moon and 1 air and 1 animal, so we have up to level 2 of that, so we generate 2 fear. We will target land number 1, which is a land with our presence and invaders. And then we have Dreams of the Dahan. We can gather up to 2 Dahan, or if the target land is towns or cities, 1 fear for each Dahan to a maximum of 3. And I think here I will probably I think I'm gonna gather 1 Dahan in here, maybe 2 actually. We'll go with that. So that's all our fast powers played. We can go on to the events. We won't resolve the first one. We don't have any fear cards yet. We do know what's coming though. They're going to build in the jungles, so land number 4 gets a town, and land number 1 also gets a town. And then we can explore, and the first explore is into the sands. So that gets 1, and this gets 1 too. This gets 1 too. Invader cards advance, and we go on to the slow power phase. And I think here, so we have 2 damage, range 1 where we have a presence. It probably, I could prevent the build here, or range 1 from where we have a sacred site. So it could prevent the build here, or we could push this and potentially get, or we would get 2 fear for that. I think I'm probably gonna do the 2 damage here, and push this guy in here, and then the Dahan can hopefully clear out that land next turn. We will take a blight here, and we're probably gonna take a blight here. But yeah, let's go with that. I'm kind of 50-50 on whether to push the explorer or do the 2 damage here, maybe push this in here, and get 2 extra fear, but we'll go with that for now and see how it goes. So that goes away, we go on to time passes, there's nothing to heal, and then we can go on to the next turn. And I think for this turn probably going to take growth option number 4, get 2 energy, and I'll place the presence from the top rock again. And I'm probably looking at playing Call of Midnight Stream and Dread Apparitions. I think I will place this presence here, so just to have the more centralized presence on the board. We'll get 3 energy from the energy track, and yeah, we will play Dread Apparitions and Call on Midnight Stream. Dread Apparitions cost 2. We have 2 moon, 2 air, and 1 animal again. So we can let's target Call on Midnight Stream. Well, first let's use Dread Apparitions. When powers generate fear in target land, defend 1 per fear, and then you generate 1 fear as well, and we're going to target this land here. So we will place a reminder token that any fear we generate in here is going to add to the defend. So we will do 1 fear with Dread Apparitions, and then we can target Night Terrors. We have the first 2 levels again. That's another 2 fear, so 1 and 2. So that's going to be a defend for 3 in there, which will hopefully, barring any events, be enough. So that's that, and then we have 2 moon and 2 air. We can use Spirits May Yet Dream, and we can turn this up. Each player may gather 1 town into a coastal land. Okay, and then we can use Call on Midnight Stream if we'll target land number 1 as well. If target land has the hand, gain a major power. If you forget this power, gain energy equal to hand, and you may play the major power immediately, paying its cost. So we will get a choice of 4. So the choices are Pyroclastic Flow, Spill Bitterness into the Earth, Smothering Infestation, and Melt Earth into Quicksand. I think here I'm probably going to go with Spill Bitterness into the Earth. Yeah, let's try that. Give us a decent amount of damage. It will come at the cost of adding a blight, but it might help us prevent the blight from the ravage here. So net it will probably be the same, and we can get a decent amount of fear out of it. So let's try Spill Bitterness. None of those are particularly good. I mean, I was tempted by Melt Earth into Quicksand because it has the moon, but yeah, we will go with that, and we will forget. Not sure. Like, I'm thinking next turn we can maybe take this growth option, and although that probably won't work given it will be a range 0, and I probably want to use this power on land number 2. So let's go with let's forget this, Call on Midnight Stream, and we will gain energy equal to the number of the hand, so that's 3, and we may play the major immediately by paying its cost. I don't think I will, so I won't play the major now. So that is the end of those powers. We can go on to the events, and we get a Strange Madness among the beasts. Let them rampage unto death. So each beast destroys 1 Dahan. Remove 1 beast from each board. Or we can pay 3 energy per beast we decide to keep on the island, aided by animal tag. So remove any number of beasts. Each spirit may push 1 beast to an adjacent land. I think I'm going to I want to keep I probably want to keep this on the board, because the beast event is each beast destroys 1 explorer and deals 2 damage, so that would actually clear out this land completely. So I think I'm actually going to pay the 3 energy here to keep that 1 beast on the board, and then each beast destroys 1 explorer and deals 2 damage, so that's gone, and then it deals 2 damage and we get 1 fear for that. On each board, push 2 Dahan from a land with beast, disease, or wilds to a land without any of these tokens. There are no Dahan. So that was okay for us. We have one fear card. It's during the next normal build, skip the lowest numbered land, matching the invader card on each board. So that's going to be the Sands. We are ravaging in the jungle. We're defended for 3. They're doing 4 damage. The Dahan retaliate. So we take out the town and the 2 explorers and get 1 fear for that. We go on to the build. We're skipping land number 2. There's nothing to build in land number 6. And we are exploring into the mountain and jungles. So mountain, jungle, and we get another one in land number 1. This goes away, invader cards advance, and we can go on to the slow power phase. We don't have any slow powers, so that's fine. This gets discarded, and we can go on to the next round. And I think here we will go for growth option number 3 again. So we'll take a minor. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we get Bat Scout for raids by darkness, cycles of time and tide, haunted by primal memories, and renewing rain. And I think it's going to come down to either haunted by primal memories or Bat Scout for raids by darkness. Their elements are just perfect for bringer. So given this has the animal tag as well, probably more tempted by Bat Scout. It also will give us damage for Dahan and or allow us to gather Dahan. So I think I'm going to take Bat Scout here. Yeah, we'll go with that. So we can place a presence as well, and I think I'm going to place this. Probably want to place it. So next turn we were probably going to want to play Dread Apparitions. So I will place this presence in here, I think. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so we'll get 3 energy from the energy track, so 2 and 3. And I'm going to play Bat Scout and Call to Bloodshed. So that costs 1 energy each. We have 2 moon, 2 air, and 2 animal tags. So we do meet level 1 of that and level 2 of Night Terrors. We can turn this card face up, and it's going to be each player removes 1 explorer from a land with beasts, disease, or at least 2 Dahan. So that's that. And then we also have Night Terrors here. And I think I will use, let's target it in land, I mean it could be either land 1 or land 4, it doesn't really matter. It's red 0 with invaders, they're the only lands that have our presence and invaders. So we'll do 2 fears, so 1 and 2. So that is all our fast powers. We go on to the events and we get Fortune Seekers. The next Explorer card matches all lands without towns or cities instead of the printed land type. Ignore any escalation effect on it. On each board, choose a land with disease. In that land, 2 damage to invaders and 2 damage to Dahan. So there is only 1, there is no Dahan. So we will destroy the Explorer. And then each player with at least 2 Dahan among his lands either reclaims 1 power card or regains a unique power it previously forgot. I think I'm going to regain Call on Midnight Stream. Yeah, let's go with that. So that's that. Each player may gather 1 town into a coastal land. I could gather this in here, which would prevent the city being built entirely. So yeah, let's go with that. So that's that. We're ravaging in the sands, nothing there. This gets a blight. Then we're building in the mountain and jungles, so this gets a city. We're getting 2 towns there and in land 1. That should be removed. And then we're also getting a town in land number 3. And we are exploring into the sands, but because of the event card, it matches all lands without towns or cities instead of the printed land type, and we ignore the escalation on it. So all lands without towns and cities, that, and we're going to get 1 and 6 and 1 and 8 as well. Invader cards advance, and we go on to the slow power phase. And I think here we can use call to bloodshed, 1 damage per Dahan. So I'm going to target land number 3. It's 1 away from where we have presence, and we will do 2 damage there, and push that down in there. That gets us 2 fear because of our special rule. And then we can use Bat Scout for Raised by Darkness. For each Dahan, 1 damage to towns or cities. We'll target land number 1, and we'll do 3 damage to the town, and push it in here. That's another 2 fear, so 1 and 2. And then that is all for our slow powers. These get discarded, and we can go on to the next turn. And I think here I'm actually going to put off reclaiming, and I'm going to take growth option number 4. We're going to add a presence to a land with the Han or invaders. We're going to add it into land number 2. We'll get 2 energy as well. We'll get 4 from the energy tracks of 3 and 4. And then we're going to play Spill Bitterness into the earth and call on Midnight Stream. So we'll pay 5 for Spill Bitterness, and 0 for call on Midnight Stream. So we are going to, let's do call on Midnight Stream first. We'll target land number 1. Target land has the hand, gain a major power. So we will take a choice between 4. So our choices are Focus the Lines, Anguish, Manifest Incarnation, Paralyzing Fright, and Thickets Erupt with every touch of breeze. Sorry, before we play Call of Midnight Stream, we should have done our innate power. So we have 2 moon, and 1 air and 1 animal. So we do meet 2 levels of night terrors. So we'll target land number 1, and we'll do 2 fear. So yeah, we should have done that first. And then in terms of our majors, I think there's only really 1 choice here, and it's probably going to be Paralyzing Fright. It's just, yeah, it has a pretty good element with the air, but then the amount of fear it can generate is just crazy. And it's also very useful for this turn. We can target land number 7, and they will skip all actions in that land this turn. So yeah, we'll take that. We will forget Call on Midnight Stream for that, so we are going to gain 3 energy, because we have 3 Dahan in that land, so we'll gain 3 energy. And we can forget this card and play Paralyzing Fright immediately, which I think we will do. So we'll play that. We'll forget Call on Midnight Stream again. So that is going to be 4 fear for this, so that's a fear card. We get to terror level 2. Invaders skip all actions at target land this turn. 1 away from where we have a sacred site. We're going to target land number 7. They're going to skip everything there this turn. We have 2 air, but only 2 earth, so we don't meet the 2nd level of that. And then we can use Spill Bitterness into the earth. Range 0, we'll target land number 2. 6 damage, so we're going to do the damage to the towns, so that generates 6 fear. So yeah, 4 and then 5, which is another fear card, and 6. We can add 2 Badlands or Strife. I think I'm going to add 2 Strife. And then in up to 3 adjacent lands with Blight, add 1 Badlands or Strife, and I think I will add a Strife in there. Yeah, I think that's right. So we go on then to the event card, and we get Eager Explorers. We are at terror level 2. When ravaging in lands with the Han, each individual invader does -1 damage to the land and +1 damage to the Han. Oh, that's terrible. We're gonna get we're gonna lose a Dahan here. Well, I guess it's not too bad. So -1 damage to the land, and then +1 damage to the Han. So we're gonna lose a Dahan. We'll still clear that land. We'll lose a Dahan there. We'll still clear that land. But there's going to be no blight in those lands. Okay, so push up to 2 explorers or towns from a land with beasts. Ooh. So we can push 2 explorers or towns. So, or 1 town. So let's push this in here. Yeah, that's the only land with beasts. And then 2 fear per land with the Han and towns or cities. So there are none. Okay, so that's that. And then our fear cards, we have quite a few here. So it's going to be the face down one first. And we get each player removes 1 explorer from a land with beast, disease, or at least 2 the Han. Yeah, I guess we can just remove that. That would save 1 of our Dahan. So that's that. Or sorry, that was terror level 1. We're at terror level 2 now. So each player removes 1 explorer or town from a land with beast, disease, or at least 2 Dahan. Yeah, I guess we do that. Yeah, fine. On each board, remove 1 town. You will remove. I guess we can remove one of these. In each land, 2 or more explorers. Destroy 1 explorer or town per 2 explorers. So there are no lands with 2 or more explorers. That's unfortunate. Okay, so each player chooses a different land. In chosen lands, gather up to 2 Dahan, then 1 damage if the Han are present. We can gather in there, and then 1 damage if the Han are present. So yes, that will prevent the build in there. So that was a good event for us. Then we go on to the invader ravage. So they're ravaging in mountains and jungles. They're skipping the effect there. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, so when ravaging in lands with the Han, each individual invader does -1 damage to the land and +1 damage to the Han. Ooh, then we probably want to only gather 1 into land number 6, which would still clear out the explorer, but this way, when we lose the Dahan here, this guy will be left over to fight back. So yeah, let's go with that. Lose 1 explorer. Yeah, that's fine. So we are ravaging in the mountains, nothing there, nothing there. We lose a Dahan here, but the 1 remaining fights back, nothing there. So that's everything. This will get removed. And we're building in these sands. The disease prevents, the disease prevents this build. And there's nothing to build in land 6. And then we are exploring into the wetlands. And then the escalation on each board with towns or cities, add 1 town to a land without towns. So we probably want to add this. We're going to ravage in the sands next, so we could add this in here, I think. And then we're exploring into the wetlands, so this gets 1, and that gets 1 as well. Invader cards advance. We go on to the slow power phase. We don't have any slow powers, so these get discarded. And we go on to time passes. There's nothing to heal. So we can go on then to the next turn. And one thing I forgot to do with Spill Bitterness was add the Blight. So we should have added 1 Blight in there, which would cascade, and we would cascade it in there, which would make us go Blighted Island. So immediately in each board, destroy 1 beast, then add 1 Blight to a land with towns or cities. So we'll destroy that. and we can add 1 blight into, I guess, land number 7. So that would have had a 10 already. So that was a 5 blight per player card. So there's 4 now left that we have. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So yes, I think that's correct. We are going to, I think, reclaim cards here and take a power card. And I think I'm probably going to go for, let's try a major. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get a choice of Terrifying Nightmares, Poisoned Land, Grant Hatred a Ravenous Form, and Savage Transformation. I think we're going to go with Terrifying Nightmares. The elements are good, and it might help us in land number 5 this turn. And I think I'm going to forget Spill Bitterness into the Earth to take that. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, we reclaimed cards, so now we just decide which we want to play. So first let's take 4 energy from the energy track. And I think here we're probably going to go with Terrifying Nightmares and Bat Scout for Raids by Darkness. So we'll play 4 for Terrifying Nightmares and 1 for Bat Scout. And yeah, those are the cards we'll play this turn. We are going to use, so we have 3 moon, 3 air, and 1 animal tag. So we do meet both levels of this and all 3 levels of this Night Terror's power. So first let's use level 1 of Spirits May Yet Dream to turn up this, and it will be defense 6 in all coastal lands. Invaders do not build cities in coastal lands this turn, so that's not going to help. And then target spirit gains an element they have at least 1 of, so that's not going to help us here. Well, it will actually. So it will. That's very helpful. So we will gain another moon. So now we'll have 4 moon, which will be very important for the threshold there. So yeah, let's do that. So we've got an extra moon. We will. Yeah, let's take that. So we'll put that there, and then we can target land number, I guess, 5. We have all 3 levels of this, so that's another 3 fear. So that will get that card, and then we can use Terrifying Nightmares, 2 fear, push up to 4 explorers or towns. We'll target land number 5, and we'll push 3 towns in there and 1 explorer. And then we do have 4 moon, so we get another 4 fear, so that's another fear card. And then yeah, we're almost there. I think we can hopefully pull out a fear win here. So that's all our fast powers. We'll go on to the event, and we get blight spreads on each board. Add 1 blight to a land adjacent to a land with blight. We should have destroyed that presence. Or we can prevent this on any all boards by destroying 2 presents from each board to be protected. So we're going to ravage in the sands, so there's not going to be a blight here, so we could actually probably put a blight. I mean, if we put a blight in there or there, we're going to lose presents anyway. So I think it probably just makes sense to destroy 2 presents here rather than put another blight on the board. Each beast, there are none, so we'll ignore that. On each board, add 1 Dahan to an inland land with Dahan. So we will add this to the only one that's possible, which is 6. So that's fine. We get 2 fear cards with terror level 3. Defend 9 in all coastal lands. Invaders do not build in coastal lands this turn, doesn't matter. Destroy all explorers in lands with towns, cities. Each city destroys 1 town in its land. Okay, so we can destroy these guys. They're the only explorers in lands with towns or cities. Each city destroys 1 town in its land, so we'll destroy that. That generates a fear. So that's fine. We're ravaging in the sands, nothing there. We remove 1 strife here. We're building in the wetlands. This gets a town and this gets a town. So that gets a town and this gets a town as well. and we are exploring into the mountains. So the escalation will add 1 town to a land without a town. We can add that in there. And we're exploring into the mountains. This gets 1 and this gets 1 too. The invader cards advance, and we go on to the slow power phase. We only have 1, and it's for each Dahan, 1 damage to towns or cities, so there's no point in doing that. So I think I'm going to take the second option. 1 fear, that's another fear card. Gather up to 2 Dahan, and I think I'll gather these 2 in here, and that's the end of those powers. We can go on then to the next round. We lose this moon, and I think for this I'm going to choose probably growth option number 4. We will get 2 energy, and we'll place this presence, and I think we'll place it in here, and then we can get 4 from the energy track. And I think I'm going to play Paralyzing Fright along with Predatory Nightmares. We'll pay 4 for Paralyzing Fright, 2 for Predatory Nightmares. We'll generate 4 fear, that's another fear card. We will take for any element to be an earth. And yeah, we can target this land because it's 1 away from where we have a sacred site. We have 2 moon and 3 earth, so we get another 4 fear from the threshold effect. That's a second fear card, and that is a terror level or a win by fear. The 3 fear cards we would have had, each player chooses a different coastal land, and each gather up to 1 Dahan, 2 damage per Dahan. Yeah, that would have been good in there, I guess. Remove 1 invader from a land matching a Ravage card. That would have been helpful, and each player adds 1 strife in a land with presence. Then each invader with strife deals damage to other invaders in its land. Yeah, but that was fun. That was a really important draw. We got quite lucky with Paralyzing Fright, and then I think as well the getting Terrifying Nightmares and the threshold effect, like that was just getting that 1 extra element from our Spirit's Maya Dream allowed us to get the threshold effect on that. That was another fear card right there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I haven't played Bringer in a long time. I forgot how much fun it is just to try and burn through the fear deck as fast as possible. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts, any comments. I will get back to you. They are appreciated. And I think that's going to do it for today. Thanks for joining. Hope you can join again next time.